a paleontologist, and an emerging independent filmmaker. Tonight has nothing to do with either of my former two accomplishments, but a lot to do with the latter. I've created my magnum opus, which is Latin for big work. It really just means my masterpiece. It is a feature-length character study based on a friend of mine whose trials and tribulations I've observed for quite some time. You may have heard of her. She is also famous. Her name is Jar Jar Binks. She's probably best known for her role in the Star Wars franchise, but a role that never really received the critical acclaim that it so rightfully deserves. But what you guys may not know is that she is also a talented actress in her own right and a multifaceted human being. We met at Juilliard years ago. I can't remember, it could have been in high school at LaGuardia. It's been so long now that it's hard to remember, but suffice it to say that the two of us were fast friends. You wouldn't really know it now, but it was actually based on our resemblance to one another. Over the years that I've known her as a friend, Jar Jar's been undergoing a pretty radical physical and spiritual transformation into the beautiful Gungan woman that she is today. I've been by her side through every step of this intensely personal journey. And so I thought, who better than me, a human woman, to tell her story. Being friends with her has certainly been an eye-opening experience. And I hope that my interpretation of her struggle resonates with this predominantly human audience. All of you beautiful people. Think of Jar Jar as an inspiration for times when your life is hard, as a symbol for the fortitude of the human spirit, or well, not really the human spirit, but you know. Well, okay, just think about it like this. If she can exist in the world and go on living, so can you, all of you. Tonight we'll be screening a trailer for my film, which is entitled Krysten Ritter Presents A Girl Called Jar Jar, a Krysten Ritter production. And afterwards, Jar Jar herself is here and is going to speak alongside a selection of clips and quotes from the movie. I've been informed that there's a special surprise afterwards, and I'm really excited to see what it is. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Krysten Ritter Presents A Girl Called Jar Jar, a Krysten Ritter production. Thank you so much.
In a world of bigotry and oppression, she was a beautiful enigma. Beneath her beauty lay sadness. Beneath the sadness lay pain. I just feel like something is wrong with me. Why does everything hurt? You to look at me. Don't look at me! Experience firsthand what critics like Roger Ebert are calling a brave, honest masterwork from first-time director Krysten Ritter.
Medically, there's something wrong with your body and your brain.
I just want to be free.
Do you ever feel like you were born
wrong species? No.
Jar, you make me see the world with new eyes too, though.
I have to. This is my journey.
I guess you taught me a lesson I'll never forget.
Krysten Ritter presents A Girl Called Jar Jar, a Krysten Ritter production. Written and directed by Krysten Ritter, starring Krysten Ritter as Jar Jar Binks.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Krysten, for inviting me to speak tonight and for taking the time to make a film about me. I had trouble figuring out what I was going to say tonight. Forgive me if I'm a little bit nervous. I spent a while crafting something a little bit more professional, formal, something classy. But honestly, fuck it. Talk to you about jobs and how a hiring manager can find any reason they want to hire me. How much more likely it is that I'm a person who looks a little bit like them, who mirrors them a little bit more. I can tell you I'm going to clubs, been sliding my ass against the wall, sipping water and surreptitiously avoiding the glances of men who might want to dance with me, might want to know me, might want to fuck me until I die. So you get a 2-for-1 deal, my corpse pliable and easily opened up, or if this is spat on and shot on and filled up. I can talk about how often I ever see anyone who looks like me, who feels like I feel, who cares about what I do, who's experienced a wider kaleidoscope of life. I could ask you to look me in the eye and tell me how many likely you've ever seen in loving relationships, raising offspring, or living past 45. How many times have I seen an object made to feel specifically to me? How many times have I begun to enjoy a movie before it actively spits on me, letting the rest of the homogeneous audience understand that we don't relate to them, and I'm a part of the them, and everyone else is in between? How many times has my body been a joke to you? And how many times have you
Excuse me?
How many times have you fetishized the idea of me crying? Abstracted the idea of injustice and painted it broadly over me, and sought that out and gloated over it and congratulated yourself for thinking about it. How many times do you think I've pulled out my sleeves and been forced under the bright hot scrutiny of a person 2 times my size, been forced to cop to an offensively inaccurate identity in order to perform for their judgment? How many times has that judgment been only granted after a smile and an explanation? And do you think I don't notice the disdain as I'm allowed to pass? Have you ever derailed my day by taking me aside and talking to me about something unrelated to what I was doing just because you thought of it and it pertained to my identity category? How many times have you escorted me to a public bathroom? Have you ever gone anywhere and not expected to find how many people you could use without hassle? What's that feel like? Have you ever walked down a city street without keeping an internal radar of every man on the street and how they're looking at you and what their perimeter to you was? How's that? Have you ever assumed you knew what I would say next and predicted how you'd feel about it? Are you being honest with yourself about how much you actually relate to what I'm saying? Even if you do relate, are these moments of individualized frustration that you can let go of, or does their omnipresence densely knit them together, lattice-like, surrounding you and preventing you from thinking about anything else? Have you ever kissed a stranger without thinking about it? Have you ever corrected me after I told you how I felt? What did that feel like? Have you ever gone through TSA and have been patted down because your body was a problem? Have you ever been surrounded by people who patronizingly nod at everything you have to say in a performance art piece because pretending that you relate or have genuinely thought about what I'm saying is the appropriate thing to do if you want to go on believing you're a good person? Have you ever been interrupted by someone with a burning need to tell you look good while you're in the middle of a transaction? Why do you think they did that? For their benefit or for yours? Have you ever tugged at an item in my clothing and asked me where I got it? Did you actually want to know? How offended on a scale of 1 to 10 would you be if someone compared you to me, mistook you for me? How many of you who would be offended have ever looked at me in the eye and told me I'm pretty?
Excuse me?
It doesn't matter. Because what does it say when we do say these things? None of it does anything to span across the chasm of unlike experience between us. It's insurmountable. Thank you.
For the soundtrack of the independent film Krysten Ritter Presents A Girl Called Jar Jar, a Krysten Ritter production. It's Jar Jar Binks.
For all those times you stood for me, for all the truth that you made me see, for all the joy you brought to my life, for all the wrongs that you made right, for every dream you made come true, for all the love I found in you, I'll be forever thankful, baby. You're the one who held me up, never let me fall. You're the one who saw me through it all. You were my strength when I was weak. You were my voice when I couldn't speak. You were my eyes when I couldn't see. You saw the best that was in me, lifted me up when I couldn't breathe. You gave me faith to believe on everything I am, because you love me. Thank you.